Now let's perform our analysis of variance test in Enterprise Guide. We'll see how much easier this is. We'll drag our filling machines data into Enterprise Guide, open the data. We've got our 15 observations from each of the 3 machines. We'll go up to Analyze, Analysis of Variance, One-Way ANOVA. In our dialog here, our dependent variable is the thing that we're measuring, so that's our fill time. Independent variable is our categories. We've got machine as our categorical variable here. Okay, for now let's just hit run and see what we get. We get our analysis variance table. Start each time you get one of these pieces of output though by looking up the top. How many observations do we have? We've got 15. Enterprise Guide used all 15 observations, so there were no problems in our data set. We've got the right data being read in. Then down here at the analysis variance table, you should see this is the same as what you filled out in Excel. We end up with our p-value less than 1/10,000th, so much less than the 5% threshold that we would usually use. So we conclude that our means are not all equal. Now we might want to go a little bit further than this. We might want to ask ourselves, well, which means are equal? Which of our means are unequal? We've got 3 filling machines. Which of them fill to a different mean than the others? So we've got a nice way of looking at this in Enterprise Guide, a nice built-in method. So let's click up here on Modify Task. And now skip down to means. You'll see means comparison here. We've got a bunch of different ways of comparing means. They'll do this in a slightly different way. We'll just use, in this class, the Bonferroni t-test. I'll show you what that's going to do once we see the output. And then also let's click on plots, grab our box and whisker and means plots. Hit run, replace our output. At the top of our output is going to stay looking the same. We're going to get a graph of our data. And so this is a nice graph to show our filling times for machine A, very high, for machine B, intermediate, for machine C, are low. A repeat of that graph, just without the one-way analysis of variance results. And now we get into the important stuff for telling apart these means. Our Bonferroni test here is a test of which means are different from one another. The output that we get here is whichever means are classified as different from one another via the Bonferroni test get grouped together in the same color grouping. So we've got a blue group here, that's machine A, a red group here, machine B, and a green group here, machine C. These 3 groups are all different from one another. The reason we can tell this from our output in Enterprise Guide is none of these bars overlap. If we saw overlapping bars here, that would tell us that there was no significant difference between whichever groups overlap.